Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Scott.
Hey, yo. Is that his younger brother? It's gonna be
Jeff.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
And you're listening to
all of the great action figures from our good friends at Hasbro.
The Fullyposeable.
Have your own WrestleMania with all your favorite figures.
Wrestling Figure.
Each sold separately from LJN.
Podcast.
And we are the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
Hey, welcome to episode 534 of the Fullyposeable Wrestling Figure Podcast, longest running episodic wrestling figure podcast going today. My name is Jeff, and sitting alongside next to me is my real life brother, not storyline brother, Scott. Scott, say hello.
Hello.
All right, guys, full transparency. We are recording early because I got to catch on the fly and head to Las Vegas. So we are recording early, so we don't know what the Mattel drops are going to be. Oh, wait, we should just play it like we do. Oh, man, that was a great Muda figure.
Dub it in, just pretend.
That Shawn Michaels was fantastic. AI is doing it. AI is like trying.
But if you don't want to listen to that bullshit, just pay attention to our socials. Jeff will be there live and in living color on Thursday as Rhea and Team Mattel divulge all of the new figures that are going to be coming our way. My wallet is already trembling in fear, knowing I'm going to be reaching for it repeatedly, thanks to not only Mattel, but also Major this year. And who knows what else is coming from all those cool people. But yeah, reveals, and you'll have it all over social media, and you're going to have a blast, dude.
Yeah, I'll have a good time. I'm looking forward to getting away with Norm and Jason, who's a good friend out here, and just a bunch of friends. Just looking forward to getting away. I am missing the Fig Life meetup, but at the same time, it's like, okay, now that I don't have the meetup to focus on, what am I going to do? Like, the meetup was always on the back of my brain. Like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do that. You know, you handled locations, although not well with the little dwarf. No, not
we don't mention this name.
The drunken dwarf? What was it?
We don't mention this time. I know the name. I'm not going to say it. They get no free publicity out of me. Fuck them. Them in Power Town, right out.
Do you remember when we pulled up and we were like, uh-oh?
Yeah. It was immediate like, oh, man. I guess I should have scouted the location better instead of taking some cabbie's recommendation. Look at me. He's like, they have good Detroit pizza. And I'm like, I am there. I don't care what the condition is. We're going to host a meetup there. Why? Because Detroit pizza, my friend. Yeah, that might have been an error.
You do love you some Detroit pizza.
It's my absolute favorite. But what's funny is and we talked about this last year, but none of those pictures matched up from Google to what we actually drove up to. And we all got out of the car. We're like, oh no. And then I go inside and I'm like, hi, we have a thing today. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the only server here and we need more people if we're going to host that. I'm like, I'll be right back. Never. And yeah, that was a hard pivot. Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Well, leave it to the Fullyposeable podcast crew to do that, dude. Hey, you know what?
Yeah. Hey, go ahead.
It ended up perfect. You know, the sports bar, actually sports book at what was the casino? Westgate. I'm going to miss that this year. I know that Horseshoe has a sports book, but I mean, I'm going to miss that sports book at Westgate.
I love Westgate. I mean, say what you will. It's not the greatest location,
right?
But the hotel itself and the sports book, even the casino was fine too. But man, top notch. And that little cafe right there by the sports book in Westgate, really good. Mm-hmm. Really good. And they did such a great job hosting us. And yeah, kudos to them. It went so well in Philly, it had to go bad in Vegas, right?
Right. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to have fun at WrestleCon. I'm going to get Okada's autograph on the Super 7 figure, you know,
nice.
Getting Will Ospreay's figure signed. You know, I'm just looking forward to getting away and getting these autographs. I am going to spend a lot of money. So
it's going to happen, but you're at the WrestleCon hotel. That is going to help tremendously. We always put that over. It's always best if you're going to get a lot of signatures, stay at the host hotel.
Yep.
Whatever you have to do to make it happen, make it easy on yourself, especially if you're going with a haul like Jeff is doing. And this isn't just this year, but next year is going to be Saudi. So I don't know how many people are going to be doing that WrestleMania.
I'm going to do a prediction for next year.
Okay.
They're going to do it in 2 different locations. One night in Saudi, one night in somewhere in the US.
You think so?
That's a prediction.
You don't think that when they signed the deal, it was 100%
Nope.
Saudi deal?
Nope.
Wow.
There's just a predict, unless I miss something, but my prediction is that they're going to do 2 nights, 2 separate locations, similar to WrestleMania 2, but not 3 locations, 2. And it will be somewhere in the States because they still owe Indy and New Orleans a WrestleMania. I think they're going to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So either Indy or New Orleans one night, and then Saudi the next, or vice versa.
Interesting theory. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. That would be okay, because I think what's going to happen is AEW is going to try to move in, and not that they're necessarily going to go head to head with WrestleMania, but do kind of like they did this past weekend with their Dynasty show and have it run the week ahead. But, and Will Ospreay was on I don't know if it was Van Vliet's show, but he did an interview where he was basically putting over like his thoughts on how they should make like a quote unquote WrestleMania weekend happen for them.
100% agree.
Yeah, I same as I do. I 100% in lockstep with him. This is AEW's chance, I think. I mean, look, for them to compete with WWE, I don't think it's ever going to happen, but it would go a long way, I think, with the fans. You're going to host something here on American soil. It's going to happen right around WrestleMania. You can get WrestleCon to go piggyback it, get a whole, I mean, you would obviously have like a Ring of Honor show, but you could bring a bunch of indie promotions into any location. Shoot, they should do New Orleans. I would go to that.
I don't know if they'd be able to rent out the Superdome or the Silverdome.
You know what? If it was going to be like a big show, I think, and it was going to counter what, not necessarily same weekend I said that, but you know, something that would be a counter to WrestleMania, like it's going to be on home soil. I don't know, man. I think the fans would turn out for that, especially if you can get some decent sized names for it. You know, Daniel Bryan, if he can come out of retirement and have a match, you know what I mean? Like you really bring out the big guns for this thing. I think that would go, like I said, not to compete with WWE per se, because I don't think they're ever going to hit that level, but it would go a long way with the fans. Maybe some that are on the fence, you know, that are like, you know, I don't know about them, but you know, taking WrestleMania overseas like they are to Saudi, that's leaving a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouth. And AEW really has an open door here, barring your prediction, to go make a good gesture with the fans. And this is a good possibility for them. Absolutely.
AEW is red hot right now. I've got to give them credit, man. Their stuff is good right now going on. And everybody always raves about AEW pay-per-views, and they're 100% correct. Honestly, AEW streaming service, if there's talks of it, but if it's coming soon, it can't get here fast enough.
You think like their own standalone subscription as opposed to going through HBO Max?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I didn't realize their pay-per-views, they charge for those on Max.
Yep. And Amazon too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm like all geared up, like 5 o'clock rolled around. I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna jump on HBO Max real quick. This is great. I'm paying for nothing. And I jump on, it's like $39.99. I'm like, damn it. Guess I'm watching Saturday Night's Main Event from 1988.
I can hear Brian from the Legendary Podcast. He's all, me too, Scott.
That's kind of my go-to when like I'm just sitting there and there's like I just want to be on my phone and just like have something in the background, but like look and watch it. That's Saturday Night's Main Event for me. All the old ones I just started at 85 and just run it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was super disappointed I couldn't watch on HBO Max, but if they do get their own streaming service, you're right, Jeff, that would be awesome because people miss the network, and I think that they want something similar to that. So again, another good faith gesture from AEW would go a long way with fans.
And again, this is all rumors. I've heard rumblings. I don't know how far they are along, if those rumblings are true, how far along they are. It's just stuff I've heard. Again, it's the internet. You can never believe anything on the internet. You know, like Abraham Lincoln said he gave Ford Theater 1 star on Yelp. So
it's because you can't give 0.
Yeah, because you can't give 0. So 1 star was murdered there. All right.
Yeah, would not recommend. I mean, we'll see. You know, tickets sold so well for WrestleMania in Vegas this year. I don't know, man.
This is not a wrestling podcast. This is a wrestling figure podcast.
Yes.
Which I will go to say that AEW, if they are ending their contract with Jazwares, needs to link up with another strong toy manufacturer.
Probably online only, though.
You think so?
At least to start. Yeah. I don't think retail's for them, dude. And they're pretty much dried up everywhere. I went to Walmart the other day. They had 0 in terms of AEW figures on the pegs.
They're all off the pegs, dude. They're not in Target. They're not in Walmart.
Yeah. So, I mean, even at this point, I think they're moving into like an online only, like Ringside carries them still. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get to one in the news that they just kind of like mystery dropped on us. So I don't know if that's going to be the template until they fold up shop, but I think whoever picks them up next, if it's not going to be Jazwares, and we've talked about this for Jazwares as well, or for the AEW figures / Ring of Honor figures, I think an online only model works really well for them. Wait until their platform is bigger and they've got a bigger fan base to where the demand is there, and then maybe start to explore retail again. Mm-hmm. You got to give them props for trying, but I think maybe they just tried to go too big.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, we want them to succeed. You know, the more the merrier in the figure world as far as wrestling figures go. So, you know, we want them to stay in the game, but if they can't, let's find a better way to make it work.
Yeah. You guys know where to find our shirts. You guys know where to follow us. Make sure you're following us. Well, the show already dropped, so it doesn't matter. But on Instagram, Fullyposeable WFP, that's where I'm going to be live streaming and taking pictures of the reveals.
The Mattel reveals. And Rhea Ripley will update you on what shoes she's wearing. Either open toe, or if she's wearing sneakers, we will update you guys on that.
Why does Jeff keep focusing the camera on her feet?
Whoops. Sorry.
My bad. The comment section going through Instagram Live or something, they're like, hey, get off the feet. Okay.
No, I doubt they're going to say that, Jeff.
Oh, no, not like that. No.
Stop panning to the figures.
You guys know where to follow us on the podcasting platforms, and you can send us any audio questions, or anything else at all. Send it on over to fullyposeablewfp@gmail.com. Similar to what Josh Thompson did. Josh Thompson said, hey, Jeff and Scott, here with the listener segment question. This week, boys, I got no predictions, but a wish list of things I want to see Mattel reveal at WrestleMania Access. If you guys have your own wish list of things you want to see, let me know. I'd figure I'd make this, since both Access and San Diego Comic-Con both feel like Christmas when it comes to news and reveals of figures. Right off the bat, I really want an update on what's going on with the next Mattel Creation playset. I get it, Bill and Steve, now might not be the best time to release expensive Elimination Chamber set, but I'm hoping Mattel can at least put out a Hell in the Cell set. Bias towards Mattel making a full Ring in the Cell set aside, I'd like to say a Hell in the Cell full ring playset would cost around $125 to $150. So safer bet to get funded and then bought. Not to get my hopes up on AAA guys, but I'd like to at least see Mr. Iguana figure. You can almost guarantee that.
Yep.
Iguana is available for Mattel to use as he's signed a WWE deal, and an elite of him with his battle buddy, La Yeska, would be sweet. This is a bit out of the blue, but I'd like to see a 2-pack of Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain with an announcer's table. I'd like the idea of Mattel paying tribute to the 2 great announcers, and it has a better chance of happening than Vince and Jesse for obvious reasons. War Machine, but in their more current look with the leather jackets and hats, as seen on AAA. JC Mateo Elite, you can almost guarantee that.
That's coming in Elite 127, I believe. It's been announced.
Yeah, didn't we read that?
It was rumored, but I want to say he's already on ringside. So yeah, that one's been confirmed.
And I know Mattel has been handing out Eddie Guerrero figures like crazy lately, but an elite of him in an American attire with red, white, and blue tights, bonus points if they throw in Dom, who wore a similar attire to pay tribute to Eddie. Speaking of Dom, at least one figure of him with AAA Meg Championships. So those are JT's predictions for WWE World reveals.
I would love to see a Hell in the Cell playset. That would be awesome, but I think he's off on the price point a little bit, because you figure that now this is going off of ringside pricing, the SmackDown ring that came with Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
You know, making a difference, Jacob Fatu. I want to say that one was like 120, 130, something like that. Mm-hmm. So if you pull the figure and put in like a real scale cage, given the sheer size of it, I don't know, man. I think 150 would be pushing it. I think you're going to be closer to like 175, 200. If you go with like a real, if you're going for real scale, I think that you're looking for, and chances are they'd want to include a couple figures with it, even if they are main events. So I think you're looking at like 175, 200. I love his idea on Mr. Iguana. I'm going to take it a step further and just touch on what I talked about last week with the demon figures coming.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember in AAA, there was a match involving Finn and Mr. Iguana.
Mm-hmm.
And Finn at one point brought out a demon puppet. Demon puppet needs to be included with his new Ultimate Edition that comes out, or his greatest hits demon if it comes out. They need to make that demon puppet happen. If they're going to do Mr. Iguanas, you got to bring the demon puppet.
So I asked this question to Sean last week when we had Sean Ing on from KWK. He said that luchadors don't move as well. He said that on our show last week.
Yeah.
Do you think Mattel's going to have a tough time with this AAA? I'm not going to say line. I don't think they're going to do a line, but do you think that the figures that they kind of spatter out there, do you think that they're going to have a tough time moving them? Your personal opinion.
I think that they're going to be very selective as to who they release. I think you're going to see some build figures that might make a little more sense to package the parts in with figures that might move better.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be kind of a play it by ear, see how it goes type of thing with them. You're going to get your big names in. I don't think a Conan is out of the question at all. I think he's such a strong name. And I mean, the BBTS Boss Fight Studio figures have moved pretty well. Juralistico sold out. Their basics did pretty well. We saw that Phoenix and Penta, when Boss Fight had them, they sold pretty well.
Yep.
People went crazy for the Penta figure. So I think, the more toyetic, the better, I would say. But I think Mattel is going to play it safe, put out the big names like everybody wants a Mr. Iguana. You put out your bigger names and see what happens. I think that's going to be the safe play for Mattel, the smart play. Like I said, some Build-A-Figures possibly. You pull your big names like Conan, maybe La Parka. We'll see. But I think that they'll do good based on who they're picking. They're not going to do everybody, right? Mm-hmm. They've got to be super selective. So you'll see them sprinkled into the elite lines on occasion. And we'll kind of see what happens.
I'm not going to say they're going to announce a new name. I don't think anybody new has been signed or anything to a Legends deal. So I think we're going to see a different Coco Beware, maybe for the LJN series.
You think they do a high energy?
Oh, so you're saying, would they do Coco in that outfit, you mean?
Right. That's what I'm asking is you say we're going to see a new Coco. Do you think they would do that outfit?
Well, I'm saying we're going to see Coco in the LJN series. We're going to see the figure.
Oh, so you're not even talking about a new elite. You're saying we're going to see a Coco LJN. Do they go traditional how he looked in the LJN line?
I think they're going to take some creative liberties, change the pose, change the outfit. And obviously he'll come with Frankie. That's a given.
Okay.
I think they're going to show off a lot of new LJNs that are going to be coming up.
So we're going to see like series 4 and 5.
Yeah. I'm debating on if they're going to jump into the Axe and Smash or the Axe I should say, for LJN, because I'm trying to think of all the guys that were in the LJN series that have already been done by Latuni and Major Pod and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think of like guys that they have access to. Who are they going to do the Hogan with the white shirt? Maybe even the red. It's going to be interesting to see which route they go. Maybe the Hart Foundation.
I would love that in a tag team box set.
So I think they're going to start showing off some legends for the LJN line along with some new guys as well. Roman, I think, will be shown off in the LJN line as well.
Agree. I think you're going to see Bam Bam Bigelow. I think you're going to see Big Boss Man. I think you're going to see Ricky Steamboat. And I think you're going to see $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. And I think you're going to see the Honky Tonk Man. I think you're going to see those 5 guys in the next 3 or 4 series of the LJNs. I don't know if there will be resins or whatever. Man, you start to think like current day guys. CM Punk's going to show up in there.
Well,
was he already announced for series 3?
Him and Jey Uso were already announced for series 3.
That's right. Him and Jey Uso for series 3. Okay. So now you got to start sprinkling in your legends if you stick with the 50-50. Although this past series was just, it was Jesse, Bundy, Warrior, and Stone Cold. Mm-hmm. So pretty much that was all legends. So that theory goes out the window. They're completely mixing it up. I think they're going to take a liberty with Smash. I think you will see Demolition LJN. I don't know if you'll see him at the reveals. You might.
Mm-hmm.
I think LJN demolitions are very smart. I think you're going to see the announcement of the Demolition 2-pack elites or ultimates coming from ringside. I don't think they're going to be Coliseum collection.
Okay.
Steve seemed pretty adamant they were going to stick to the LJN formula.
They were.
And at least with the LJN inspired line, you can say that, okay, we're just releasing a new fit, kind of like they did with Jesse. We know Jesse had an LJN. This is different, same pose, different outfit. They could just do a smash from scratch, but put Axe out as he was, update his face paint, but put Axe out as he was, same pose. Shoot, put Smash in the same pose, just different arms, opposite arms, and then updated face paint on him, and you call it good.
It's going to be tough to do because there are a few from Latunia and Major Pod. There are already quite a few demolition figures that they've already released. Which route does Mattel go? Are they going to just, how would they make it different? Do they go like the Latunia route that they're doing for their Ever series, where it's just like the original look?
I don't know that they have to worry about it at all because they're half the price. That goes a long way. You can get 2 for the price of 1.
Touche.
So I don't know that you necessarily have to worry about so-and-so did it and so-and-so did it. We're half the price, guys. So just make whoever, and people are going to be like, oh, normally if this was this price, I wouldn't buy it. But since I can get 2 for 1 almost, I'll go ahead and grab them. So, I mean, if I'm Mattel, I'm just pumping out everybody. I don't care who's made them.
By the way, we'll also see Demolition Ultimate Editions. Because remember, just a couple of weeks ago, Steve was doing that live or that podcast or whatever he was doing, and they did the zoom in. They saw the Axe and Smash Ultimate Editions.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. We'll get a 2-pack from ringside.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking about LJN. Sorry.
No. Oh, I mean, that would be amazing if they did a 2-pack demolition from LJN.
My bad. I thought.
Good.
Yeah, we got onto LJN and then back to Ultimate. Okay, we're all over the place.
Well, the Dudleys were the last set that they did. Ringside.
Correct.
So demolition just makes total sense because obviously they're hitting all like the Mount Rushmore tag teams. So yeah, demolition makes all the sense in the world for them, but not in the Coliseum collection. I also think they're going to say Randy Savage is coming back. WrestleMania is the time you're going to do it, dude. The original Mr. WrestleMania coming back home.
All right.
It's not going to happen, but I just want it on recording if it happens.
Is this going to be like your Sheik and Volkov Coliseum collection? Okay.
It's going to be my go-to every time. And I also want to see a US Express Elites with jackets.
I don't think they have the rights to Barry, do they?
I don't know. He was on camera, him and Rotundo both. They went to the Hall last year, but I don't know what that means as far as like Legends deals for those guys.
Yeah, Hall doesn't always equal Legend deals,
Yeah, no, totally. But I mean, hopefully there's been Legends deals signed that we don't know about. Like I would love it if they did Martel. Could
you imagine how crazy we would go if they announced the Midnight Express?
Oh,
it's the low-hanging fruit that all toy makers want. Sean talked about it last week. Sean just wants them made.
Is that kind of the last of the Mohicans, you think? Like that last big property that nobody has been able to touch?
Bulldogs are getting made by Major.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll is getting made by Major.
Yep.
Yeah, Midnights are the last one. Fantastics are getting made by Sean. So
there's
those legendary guys that are just getting made by everybody. And you are correct. Midnights are the last ones that need to be made. That's basically the tip of the iceberg that we need.
Do you think Corny's just playing hardball? He's playing hard to get. So like he just keeps stretching it out. Like I'm not signing a deal with anybody. I'm not in a hurry to get figures made. And he's just watching those dollar signs continue to stack up on the table as he keeps saying no.
Okay. I'll be honest. I like Corny.
I do too.
But I don't know what he's doing with the Midnight Express. Now, granted, FTC got him. So there are figures of the Midnight Express out there. However, there's Midnight Express in other styles that we also would like. I know a lot of people would like them in retros. A lot of people would like them in Ultimate Editions. A lot of people would like them in Elites. A lot of people would like them as Remcos.
Yes. Or Galoobs.
There's so much money to be made with that license. I don't understand why why he is playing hardball.
I wish I knew the answer to that because there is such high, and we talked about it last week with Sean, there is such high demand for that property that I don't think you could pump out the figures fast enough to sate the collector's need for them.
Right.
Especially when you start talking about 3-packs. and including like Randy Rose, Dennis Condrey, Stan Lane, Bobby Eaton. Like you just keep going down the list and you're like, man, there are so many possibilities for what you could do with the Midnight Express. As you mentioned, with the different scales too. Mm-hmm. Like there's just a whole world of possibilities, but nobody can get that license.
FTC is the only one.
That's it. Yeah. And I know Corny still has those figures available on his website. We talked about it a few weeks ago, but man, if we could just start getting them in different scales, that would just be incredible. But alas, that's kind of like the last one that people are like really clamoring for and nobody can get.
Yep. All right. Thank you, JT, for the question, because that led us down a huge rabbit hole and we need filler this week.
Yeah. Who knew that Randy Rose was going to stem from a JT question?
New notable names for actually WrestleCon's going on right now as the show is dropping. So this is Megan Bain, Teddy Long, and Amazing Red. And those are the new notable names, just a few names that popped up over the past few days since we last recorded. Scott, did you pick up anything?
Did I buy anything? No, I didn't buy anything. In fact, I should have my Zombie Road Warriors out in the mailbox.
Right now?
I think so. It said they were slated for delivery today.
I did pick up something, but it wasn't wrestling figures. And I'll make this quick. Wherever you guys live, check your town for small mom and pop toy stores. Just so happened I was scrolling our community Facebook group and someone mentioned that there was a new toy store that opened across town. I went down there, and to say there was a hodgepodge of stuff is an understatement. They did have wrestling figures. They had the Jack's Classic Heart Foundation. This guy goes off eBay sales. He goes off eBay current listings and sold listings. So he will scour eBay to give you kind of a middle of the road price. And that's what he did with me. So he had the Heart Foundation Jack's Classic 2-pack, the original, not the ones with the jackets. He had the Sean, Brett, and Rock 3-pack from Jack's Classics as well. He also had Sting Toy Biz.
I believe it was the second one, Jeff, the one with the jacket. I think that was Sting too.
Yes, that one was there. And a lot of Just Toys Bend-Ups. But he also had a bunch of starting lineups. I mean, like a slew of starting lineups. But ended up walking out, got you, Scott. I got you a Sports Impression. And for those that don't know, Sports Impression were these die-cast, would you even say? No, they were hand-painted statues.
Yeah, Sports Impressions made collectibles in like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And they would make statues, plates, like figurines. But yeah, they were huge in the 80s and 90s. People thought these things were going to be worth millions and they could retire off of them.
Fun fact, they were not able to retire off Sports Impressions.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But anyways, Sports Impressions also made ornaments. And Scott and I never knew about this. So when I walked into this guy's store, I mean, the store is huge, but it's just everything was all over the place. So you really had to scour like from high, low to high. Anyways, I walk up and I see a Sports Impression Jose Canseco in the A's uniform. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know this was an ornament. I was like, I've never seen this before. So I picked that up for Scott. They had a Ricky Henderson one as well. Picked that up for Scott. He had a Jeff Bagwell and a Frank Thomas in there. I picked those up for two of our buddies. And some other little trinkets and stuff like that too. So anyways, what I'm getting back to is if you have that toy store or that little antique shop, you never know what you're going to find. So, make it a day. Just kind of drive down across town or next town over and see what they got, because you never know what you're going to find. This guy's prices were very fair too, because he would just go off eBay and he would just be like, oh, this is $10. This is $9. Here you go.
And you have to pay shipping.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, that's my kind of TED talk, is make sure you hit up your little antique shops.
Support your mom and pop shop collectible store.
Exactly. All right, let's get into the pre-orders for the month of April for over at Collect Major. I told you about the Demolition, the new carding with the helmets design in the back, and the King Macho. Those are the April pre-orders because the Young Stallions. I almost said the
Italian Stallions are gone.
No. Screw the Midnight Express. The Italian Stallion is the tip of the iceberg, dude.
Yes. Yes, Saturday afternoon jobber on NWA TV, the Italian Stallion.
Do you remember in our talk with Sean last week, he said there was one tag team, he says it was a deep cut?
Yes.
I wonder if it was the Mulkeys.
Oh.
He says it was a deep cut, but a fun cut.
Oh, dude, that would be, I would buy Mulkey's figures. I would. I bet they've never had figures. I would buy Mulkey's figures.
What was it? It was Randy Mulkey and
was it Mike?
I don't remember who. All I know is they were.
See, these are the things you do that like send me down this rabbit hole. Randy and Bill.
Randy and Bill. That's it.
Yep.
Wearing purple trunks with white knee pads, just getting thrown around. Poor guys had to job out to the Road Warriors 90,000 times.
These guys look like me if I just threw on a pair of wrestling trunks. Just like pasty, out of shape, but like would put guys over and make them look like $1 million. They were, when you saw them in the ring, you're like, oh, they're going to be facing a superstar team today. Mm-hmm. Who are they going to be losing to today? And sometimes it was a debut team and they just be thrown in there like, yeah, they're facing the new breed. You know, it was just, you'd see them just lose every single Saturday, but they've never had figures. And those guys work their asses off. I would 100% support Mulkey's figures.
Did they win one match in the Crockett Cup?
They won a match on a Saturday. They were facing a quote unquote debut tag team. They were called like War Machine or something.
Yeah.
And the Mulkeys won. And dude, Shivani and Crockett lost their minds. like the rapture was happening. They're like, oh my God, like the start of the apocalypse. Oh my God, what, you know, the earth stopped rotating and the Mulkeys won a match. Like it was amazing.
Do you remember that day when they won?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I ran downstairs to tell mom. Like mom had no idea who Randy and Bill Mulkey.
Who are Randy and Bill Mulkey?
I was like, holy crap, Mom, the Mulkeys just won a tag match. She's like, what's a Mulkey?
It was more shocking than the Undertaker's streak getting broken when the Mulkeys won a match.
Oh, shit. That's actually true. All right. Scott mentioned the pre-orders on Big Bad Toy Store for Boss Fight Studio for Dragon, Lee Rouge, Solaire, and Ultimo Dragon. That is Boss Fight Studios pre-orders up on Big Bad Toy Store. Check out Grapplers and Gimmicks Hassle Toys, Raven Regium, and Ahmed Johnson Regium. That is Mitch's Hassle Toys. FC Toys, shop.figurecollections.com, pre-order for Insane Clown Posse. I think Justin Summers is up to about 32 of those, I think.
32 or 33 sets, yeah.
Yeah, around there. And we talked to the great Sean Ing last week for the April pre-order of Bad News Allen and Jameson. Scott, you love that Jameson figure.
I do. I really like the Bad News Brown too, and the Bad News Allen. I like the inclusion of the robe and the different color boots on there. Well done, Sean. I like both those figures a lot, but that Jameson, oof, that's a screaming figure.
No, he's already made well done.
Okay. See, I got to be careful when I say stupid stuff like that. You're just going to run with it.
How interesting was it that he already tried for Techno Team 2000?
I would have never had that on my bingo card for 2026 if he got them.
Oh my God.
But to even think about going after them, it's just, wait, what? You know, and he got PG-13 and you're kind of talking around the same era right there. He got the Pit Bulls. So he really went hard on like those mid to late 90s tag teams.
Yep. All right, let's get into the news for Big Shot Pillow Buddies. They showed off some new ones. Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Seth Rollins. He had a light blue and purple gear. He also had the glasses on. And Becky Lynch in her black and yellow gear. Those are the new Big Shot Pillow Buddies over at getbigshots.com. Jazwares, Scott mentioned this earlier. They dropped a bomb. Well, I should say a bomb, but they dropped something that we were not expecting. They dropped a Christopher Daniels ROH figure. And Norm and I were talking about this, and both him and I said the exact same thing. This is a figure we need, but we're going to play the long game.
Yeah. This would have been from his run in 2011 when he won the ROH title. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
Yep.
We were actually at that show when he won it too.
Yep, sure was. But that was Atlanta, right?
That was Atlanta. Yep. In that little theater, maybe sat, I don't know what, 900 people, 800 people, something like that.
Dude, that's where they used to film WCW Saturday night. It was the, not the Omni. Oh my God. What's the name of that Saturday night place they used to, not in the little TV studio,
No, I know what you're talking about, where they did WCW Saturday Night.
Yeah, but that's where they used to film it. It was the same place.
Okay, hold on.
These are the rabbit holes.
You always do this to me. This is the second time tonight. Center Stage Theater.
Center Stage. Thank you. Thank you.
And we were literally sitting for night one, literally sitting on the stage, and for night two as well. And on night one, we were front and center, literally front of the stage, right in the center. So if you ever go back and watch it, there's Jeff and I right in the front row.
That was the night that, wait, was it that night that the Briscoes faced Rhett Titus? And
that was day two.
That was day two. Okay. That's where.
And then on night one, KOW lost the titles.
Yeah. Kings of Wrestling lost the tag titles to Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
That's right. Well, what were you going to say about the Briscoes match?
Where Jay got busted open and just had that crimson mask going on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was insane. That looked like Carrie. That movie Carrie at the end. Like, that's what Jay looked like. It was crazy. R.I.P. Jay.
All right, let's head over to Funko. New Funko's coming out, Mr. Perfect. He does come with a title. It's just a generic looking title, but we all know what it is.
The AWA title.
Exactly. Sheamus as the Brute Brawler, Solo Sikoa and AJ Styles doing the flying forearm pose. AJ Styles is in the blue tights that he ripped and showed his bare ass that one time. Were his tights ripped?
His bare ass, BEAR? So it was all like full of hair and...
That's cool. That's cool. The Second Amendment is right to bare arms, and it's a dude with bare arms, like
literally bare arms.
Yeah. It's so literal. So what I wanted to do for a little bit of filler, because this is a short show, we're not recording on our normal night and had a week's worth of notes or anything like that. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to go back in time to 2019. So this is when Steve Ozer started doing the questions from the message boards. And I kind of did this last week. Sorry, check that. I did this about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I pulled one question, but I thought it would be fun to kind of go in the Wayback Machine and go back to 2019 when Steve Ozer first answering questions on the Wrestling Figs message boards.
So we're like 7 years removed from this.
Exactly. And 1,093 pages. And he's kind of ghosting everyone right now. But anyway,
he's got a lot going on. I mean, he's going to be sitting next to Rhea Ripley here in a few days. So good for him.
First question from October 28th, 2019 comes in from American Made Les Gold. He said, will you ever make Nation of Domination Mark Henry? Steve says, it's a possibility as long as he remains under a deal. I'm probably going to be saying this a lot in a lot of answers. LOL. And he does. 1,093 pages later, he's still saying it.
Yep. His go-to.
It is. October 28th, 2019, CZW for Life said, will there ever be a Billy Graham made? 7 years later, CZW, we can say yes. But Steve said, I think he's very important to include. If we can, we will. So at this time, Billy Graham was not under a deal.
That's right. You know what would be cool is if they made a Billy Graham in the LJN line. I don't think they're going to, because I don't know how well. Well, obviously the Territories 4-pack didn't move that well. He was in that. I don't know how well his Elite sold.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know that he's a big draw anymore for people to buy his figure. Like, obviously guys like you and I would buy his stuff, but I think an 88 look of Superstar Billy Graham when he was Morocco's manager, I think that would do really well. That's a name that would have, and you could even do him in his announcer's gear if you wanted to, because he'd wear a suit every now and then. Actually kind of similar to what Jesse Ventura is in his figure. He would wear he would wear like a pink suit. But yeah, I think it would be awesome if they included like an 88 manager Superstar Billy Graham in the LJN line. I think that'd be cool.
October 28th, 2019 as well. By the way, these are all October 28th, so I'll just say that right now. Came in from Stinkface T, said, why aren't all released figures made available for purchase? While supplies last, of course, on the Mattel site, aside from store exclusives. Steve said there's not currently a Mattel retail site.
How far we've come. This really makes you appreciate what Steve and his team have done. I mean, just 3 questions in, like.
Well, on top of that, this also shows that they're listening.
Yes.
That they went out and made a website, Mattel Creations, obviously. They've gone out and gotten Billy Graham. They've gone out and done this stuff that shows that they're listening to us.
Well, I mean, they didn't go out and get a name, but I think that there are forces within that team that push to get names.
Touché.
So, and we've said many times, like, this is the guy we want steering the ship, Steve Ozer. Him and Bill are like the perfect captains to steer us in the right direction. Like Jeff said, they're listening. They know what we want. And even you go back 7 years and the stuff we were saying back then is now a reality. So just be patient, give it time, like the Midnight Express.
Next question came in from Mongo Bears. I think this is Steve Fontas. He loves Mongo. He does. Where are more WCW belts? Steve said more should come when appropriate talent warrants them. So let's go with the WCW belts. They've made the WCW tags.
Yep. The TV.
They haven't made that US title, that version that we all want, like Magnum.
The Luger title.
The Luger. Yes, exactly. But they have made quite a few WCW titles. They made the WCW one where it wasn't the Winged Eagle. It was the 93, 94 look.
Yes, that's right.
Again, 7 years later, look how far we've come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next question came in from Medieval. He said, any plans for Mr. Fuji or Captain Lou? Steve said, don't have access to them, sadly.
Which is funny that you picked that question because we're literally like 7 days away from getting Mr. Fuji in the store.
Exactly.
And Captain Lou we had last year in the store. So again, look at what they're doing. They're listening, they're producing. Yeah, it's 7 years down the road, but I mean, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, you guys. Come on.
Next question comes in from Ryback V1. I wonder if he regrets that name. I wonder if he's like, oh, dude, I don't like Ryback anymore. Why do I have this name?
Yeah, I'm sure he's changed it.
All Ryback said was, Jeff Jarrett, please. Steve said, not under a deal, but I sure do want some Jarrett figs.
Almost.
Triple H 316 said, I'm not asking if, when retros are coming back, but has there been renewed interest in the line based on the outpouring of fan support since the hiatus announcement? Steve said, not really, honestly. The fandom for this line seems to be very measurable. No surprises with the passionate support.
So for those of you that don't know what happened, basically they slammed retail with the retros and distribution was very hit or miss. Like some series you could find and other series you weren't going to find. And you'd have to go to either secondary market or retail stores online. So that caused a lot of frustration, not only for fans, but for Mattel as well. They had to put the line on hiatus and figure out the best way to move forward with it, which obviously is now through Ringside, was for a time through Mattel Creations, but it ended up being an online only product. You can't find those at your, brick and mortar store, but they are online. So that was Mattel's solution. That's why the question came out, hey, when are the retros coming back? Because they came for like 3 years, slight pause, and then boom, out again at online retail. So that's the kind of structure of that question and why it was proposed to Steve.
Next question came in from the Handsome One. He said, will we ever get a stunning Steve Austin Elite from WCW 92-93? Steve said, maybe. I don't see why we couldn't explore that. So this was in 2019. 2019 was around Elite. Oh, don't quote me on this. What would you say? About Elite 60?
I was going to say in the 60s or 70s. Yeah.
So it took 40 more Elite series to come out with the Stunning Steve because he came out in the Elite 100.
That's right. With that TV title we discussed.
With the TV title. Very good.
Yeah. And then not to mention, we got the Hollywood Blonde Steve Austin as well.
Exactly.
And that came with the tag title.
I wish they would be able to do the NWA tag titles, but.
Yeah, maybe one day.
One day. Next question comes in from La Parca. It's cool. He still asks question on the message boards.
What a mark.
We'll still read his questions. All right. He did a few questions. Any word on guys from the concussion lawsuit? Steve said, it's still ongoing. There's a site that details the latest. Just Google it. Next question. Any update with Coco Beware? And is Steve Kern, aka Skinner, available to use? Steve said, no updates on those talents. Is there any excitement with the Super 7 New Japan figures and Boss Fight Lucha figures that are going to be compatible with the Elite line? Steve says, I think all of us on the team that collect are really excited for those figures. Man, we're talking about Super 7 figures here.
Yeah, and here today, gone today. No more Super 7 figures. Done. Yes. But Boss Fight's still around and making amazing looking figures still.
All right. Next question comes in from hashtag Heel. He said, any chance we see re-releases of King Kong Bundy? Yes. Jimmy Superfly Snuka?
Never.
Paul Orndorff? Yes. Hillbilly Jim? They just showed off some new pictures of Jim.
Yep. What we think is going to be a Saturday Night's Main Event set.
Nothing's been confirmed yet, but
it has not. I would imagine this week we'll know more.
Yep. The Bushwhackers.
Got them.
Have we had them recently though?
Yeah, they did those elites in, I want to say it was a Survivor Series set that came with the Doink Heads.
Oh, yes. You're right.
Yep.
Rick Martel. Nope.
Not yet, but I think he's coming, dude.
Akeem or Nikolai Volkov. Volkov has been made.
Yes, Volkov was made. Akeem, we got One Man Gang with the BRGs, but I would imagine it's only a matter of time before he shows up within the Mattel family.
Also, the second question, hashtag Heel said, how come we haven't gotten the Hollywood Blondes in elite form? So, first question, most are not under deals, so highly unlikely. If that changes, then maybe. Blondes just hasn't worked out just yet.
Spoiler alert.
Again, this is why I like reading this, because in 7 years, they've given us, we're kind of like Batista, give us what we want, Yeah,
but that's how we are. It's fact.
So they've given us a lot of the stuff that we've asked for.
Absolutely. I mean, we're never going to see a Jimmy Snuka figure from Mattel. That's just not going to happen. But most of the other guys on that list, we either have gotten or we're pretty damn sure we're at like the 9-yard mark of the 10-yard line of getting those guys made.
Next question and last question came in from Mongo Bears. He said, should I give up hope for a Zeus figure? Steve said, nothing happening for now, but things are always evolving. I'd love to get an elite Zeus if the stars align one day.
And guess what? Boy, did those stars align on his first release.
The first release with that VHS packaging, and oh my God. I mean, what a way to welcome Zeus into the family. But I just kind of like going back through these. It's fun. It's just cool to see like they're going to bat for us. So, okay, you're not getting the instant gratification of the answer that you want now, but give it time because they are going to work for us.
Because like Steve says, every time his copy and paste response, if we have access to them, they're going to get made. And you just rattled off a whole bunch of names that people wanted 7 years ago that here we are 7 years later and 98% of that list is complete.
Yep.
And they were all most wanted names too. So Steve and his team, just, hey, kudos to you guys, man. You're listening. You know what we want. And when they're available to you, you're going to give them to us. It may take a few years, but it's the way the gears work, man.
Yep. All right. We'll round it out there. Check out our podcasting buddies. Positively Pro Wrestling Podcast just actually dropped their new show where they talk about WrestleMania matches. A lot of fun. I love listening to Steve, even though he doesn't want to go to Vegas with me.
I'm sure it's not that he doesn't want to.
No, he doesn't. He hates me.
He's like Steve's response. If I have the funds available to me,
Steve, I didn't even have
Vegas.
I didn't even have the funds available to me, and I still made it work.
He's lying, Steve.
I know. Anyways, go listen to them. Also, check out our buddies Brian Breaker and Travis over at the TB Toycast. And the wonderful man himself, Brian, over at the Legendary Wrestling Figures Podcast. Love that guy. Love hearing from him. Great guy. Can't say enough good things about him. As well as Jeff from Work the Arm Podcast, Jeff and Jamie. Ryan Buds doing trivia with Buds. Check that out. And also Google search them, because if you guys have any fun events planned or you want to plan something for like a work get together, hit up Brian, see if he has anything for you. Also, check out the Chick Foley Show and, of course, Rucker and EJ doing Boots to the Face. All right, Scott, I got to get on the fly and head to Vegas.
Yep, make sure you got all your human monies on you, because you're going to be shelling those out big time.
Dude, I think I'm going to be broke after day one, dude.
You might be.
I think I am.
You might be broke, dude.
After WrestleCon, Superstore, I can eat protein bars. I'll just eat protein bars and just live off those. I don't have to spend money on food.
C4s and protein bars.
I picked a bad time to stop energy drinks.
Oh, dude.
Uh-huh. I picked up.
No.
So I don't know if you remember, but Michael Canick was on and he mentioned that he is doing ketone. And so I decided I was going to try it just to see. And sure as anything, it works. It helps me get through my workout. And I am only down to 1 energy drink a day.
Good for you, dude.
Thanks, man. And if I do have that crash or I need that caffeine, I only drink green tea. So I'm supplementing my caffeine, not with chemicals from energy drinks, but from natural caffeine from green tea. So
good for you, dude. That's not easy to do, to change kind of a habit that you've had for a lot of years. So good for you being able to do that, man. That's awesome.
Thanks, dude. Thanks. It's not easy because when you crack open that fridge and you're just like, I can just grab the can and pop it open. I don't have to wait for water to boil and then let tea bag steep.
Yeah.
Because, it takes a whilst to steep, You
had to shoehorn that in this week.
I was going to do it some way, dude.
Whilst waiting for my tea bag to steep.
You said tea bag. All right.
I did. A steep tea bag.
All right, Scott. I will miss you in Vegas, but I will be looking out for you. I'll be grabbing some stuff for you.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Have a blast, brother. Drop way too much money. Have a little vacation on yourself. And just enjoy your time, man. Spearmint Rhino, I hear, is a pretty cool place to visit. So enjoy yourself.
Rucker and I may or may not be heading over there. We'll see.
Remember, the Spearmint Rhino is good. The Green Door's not. So words to live by when you go to Vegas.
Wait, he said he was taking me there too. What? No.
Don't do it. You see things you wish you couldn't see. Yeah, like you're never going to unsee it. Don't go there.
Now I have to go. All right.
Save your money for WrestleCon, dude.
All right.
And Spearmint Rhino.
Scott, for episode 534. Anything else?
Stay safe, stay healthy. Fig License 2016. Happy toy hunting, and be good to each other out there.
And I want to thank everybody for listening to episode 534. 100 and sorry, not 100. That'd be crazy if it was 166 too.
That would be crazy. Yeah.
How about
there'd actually be a possibility of that happening then?
How about 406? I got to start writing this down. 466 too. 1,000.
Yeah, I don't like its chances.
Adios.
Yeah. Fullyposeable. Let's go. Jeff and Scott, the Toon Brothers, busting out the ring, but we don't take it out the box. MOC. Happy toy hunting. We'll see you next week with the OGs of WFP. Fullyposeable. Thank you all for listening. It ain't no storyline, real life siblings. So everybody go and do your toy spotting. #FigLife. Adios from the Kings.